Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Today we have one more set of great revenge stories. But before we start, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. And our first story. Don't steal from me and say I stole from you. So this is my one and only story of great revenge. Maybe not amazing revenge, but it made me feel so much better. I was a junior in college living with scuba roommate. She was a scuba instructor in the off-season. The other two girls who were supposed to live with us never showed up. So we had a beautiful semester living in a 2-bedroom townhouse meant for 4 people. We got along very well. Second semester starts and we get a new roomie. I'll call her D. So D is dating, whom Scuba and I call Mr. Burns. He did not attend the college, nor any college. This guy was the biggest D-bag I've ever met. He was openly dating 4 girls. This is the age of Nextels, the PTT kind, so every conversation he had was projected across our townhouse. He had no job, no car, no life. D gave him a place to stay and use of her car. It's about 2 weeks in and D calls for a meeting. Apparently Scuba and I were making Mr. Burns uncomfortable. In truth, he was disgusting. We were both highly repulsed by him and told her as such. Scuba was dating a lovely boy to whom she was engaged. I was single, but standards are still standards. Fast forward to the end of the semester. I have my housing deposit for next year ready, cash in my room, in my desk drawer with the paperwork. It comes up missing. All except $100, which is the downfall of Mr. Burns. I call campus security and they come to investigate, take the $100 bill back for fingerprints. It's brand new. This is the best part. They fingerprint me as well. Turns out only 3 sets of prints are on the bill. Mine, the teller's, and his. Security gets his info and informs me the moment I see him to call security from a safe place and GTFO. He had some prior arrests for violence. I do as I'm told. They pick him up and take him in. He confesses almost immediately. The officer was laughing his butt off when he told me. Then Mr. Burns turns around and says I stole a bunch of D's CDs. I tell the officer that her music sucks and I definitely did not take them. Later, he confesses to stealing and selling them at a pawn shop. He's now banned from the college, and if I see him around, I'm to call campus security. I didn't get my money back, so I was out $400, which was a lot for me at the time. D continues living with me, but now hates me and blames me because Mr. Burns dumped her. He still calls her to ask for money and other stuff, which she gladly gives him. She makes my life hell for the next month until her lease is up, all thanks to Burns. He's borderline stalking me at this point, going to my workplace, following me around off campus. Just a wonderful person. It's now summer and I'm on Yahoo Messenger. No photo, just, hey, I go to X college looking for people that like to go to music shows. He messages me. He does have a photo. I give him my photo, eventually. Totally not me. I string him along. Nervous because I've never done this before. All he wants is a dirty hookup. And eventually I agree, under one condition, that it happened late, around 1 a.m., and that he shows up in boxers and I'd take care of him. I give him my address, which happened to be the address of the 4 guys who were on the lacrosse team, and he shows up, as promised. They did not take it kindly. He went back to his car. Lo and behold, security's there, and I watch as he's carted away in his underoos for violating his terms. You caught him with his pants down. Literally. And our next story. A potential client tried to take advantage of me, and I got her fired from her big shot marketing job. Little bit of a backstory. I'm running a painting business over the summer as a junior in college to pay for school. My prices are pretty fair as I hire college students and have a deal with Sherwin-Williams as a contractor to get cheaper paint and materials. Anyway, a potential client, we'll call her PC for pretentious C-word, scheduled an estimate with me about a month and a half ago for an interior bathroom job and deck stain. I tell her the times I'm available, but she absolutely pushes for a time where I would have to rush over from a job site, do a hurried estimate, then run home to grab a bite of dinner before going to a previously scheduled estimate. I'm a bit miffed, but I said, F it. Sales is hard. I should learn how to bend over backwards for clients. So I show up to do the estimate, and the whole time I'm getting my numbers together, she's talking me down, telling me how if she ran a business like I did, she would be fired from her big shot marketing job immediately, and how I should be dressed better to respect the client. What I did to offend Her Majesty was I moved her plants to the side to be able to measure the deck better. And I came to the estimate in paint-stained clothes since I'd run over directly from the job site. So I present the price of about $800 with a 10% day of estimate discount to book up the season, and she says she needs a few days to consider it. Okay, fair enough, right? I'll extend the discount a few days for her. So I come back a few days later expecting a yes or no answer, and she sits me down and starts to haggle with me. At this point, I'm tired enough already from working in the sun all day. I just want some food to stop the rumblies. I give her another 5% discount just to close the job. She continues to haggle with me, saying the highest we can go is $600. When I finally tell her I can't go any lower on the job or I would actually lose money on it, she tells me that she got an estimate from another local company for $500 and that she wouldn't want me to match it because she wants to support the local community. At this point, I'm exhausted, and my brain is barely keeping me breathing, but that price point doesn't sound right to me. I calculated my price based off of small profit, labor, and materials. Now I pay my painters $13 an hour and I hire college students. So if the other company is charging way less, they either pay their career painters even less, minimum wage where I am is $11, or the quality of paint is much lower. So I ask PC if they remember what paint the other company said they would use. She says she doesn't recall. Fair enough. Paint names are hard to remember if you don't see them that often. Then I ask if I could see their estimate contract to try and figure out why they were so much cheaper than I was. PC says that they didn't have an estimate sheet. Now this is a big no-no in any contracting business because you have to keep track of numbers, budgeted hours, etc. Now alarm bells are ringing in my head, so I set a firm amount on the price of the previous estimate with the additional 5% discount, which means that I only make a measly $5 per hour. I personally work on the job. PC finally agrees on the price, saying, "It's just $50. I can't see why you can't just give us more discount." At my big shop marketing job, I would give the customer a discount without hesitation, forgetting that A, the discount would be coming out of my broke college students' pockets, not a big corporation, and B, I already told her that I would only be getting about $5 per hour on the job, even though she wants to support the local community. She asks if we take credit, but there is a 5% credit card fee that would come out of my already tiny slice of profit, so I ask for a check, which I told her we prefer during the original estimate. She tells me that she uses Chase, which doesn't have a branch near us, and that the nearest one is in New York. We're about a half hour from Boston. What? Therefore, she cannot use a check because she would have to order the checkbook from New York. I think, all right, fine. I guess some people these days don't have a checkbook. I reiterate that I will lose money on the job at that price point with the 5% fee tacked on, and that I can wait until the checkbook arrives. So I tell her that she can message or call me when the checkbook arrives and I can drive back to collect the deposit and have her sign the contract. On the way out, she tells me that the job needs to be finished before a certain date because she was having guests over. I explain to her that when I receive the deposit, I'll lock her in for a power wash of the deck, which will need about a week to dry before we can stain it in one day. She mutters something, I can find the checkbook by tomorrow. Come on now, she just admitted to lying to me about having to order a checkbook from New York. So I say that's fine, let me know tomorrow afternoon so I can come by and finalize the contract. When I get home, I decide to search up Chase branches near me on Google because I found it really strange that there wasn't one closer than New York, especially since we're pretty close to Boston. I kid you not, there was a Chase branch 14 minutes from her house. Now I'm PO'd. I don't know what else she lied to me about, so I call up my friend whose dad owns the company she talked about. He calls me later that day and says he never did an estimate with her name or address. I send her a message over Facebook Messenger. I do a lot of posts in local yard sale groups for exposure for my company, so I set up estimates through Messenger and called her out about the Chase branch, the check, and the estimate from the other painting company. She goes off. Here are a few memorable quotes from her rant. "You don't have the right to insult me like that. This is just your first year running a business, and I've been working at Big Shot Marketing Job for years now. It doesn't matter what I pay you because you're young, and money doesn't matter to you right now." My Facebook post literally says that I'm running this business to pay for college. And my personal favorite, You people should be grateful that I even pay you $5 an hour for your work. I'm Chinese. At this point, I'm ready to just block her and go to bed angry, but I have an epiphany and just hear "big shot marketing job" echo through my head. I take screenshots of the messages she sent me and slap them along with a lengthy description of what happened in an email and sent copies to whatever email addresses I could find associated with the Big Shot Marketing Company. I get an email back a couple days later from a different address than the ones I wrote to previous, basically saying, "Thank you for reaching out to us. This type of behavior is unacceptable and we will be conducting an internal investigation into PC." My justice boner's about half-mast. But I think to myself, that'll be the last of it, I guess. Just today, I was messaging another old client and came across PC's conversation with me. I go to her profile, and in the intro for her profile, it now says, "Works at self-employed." Instant full mast. I don't know how other people's parents raised them, but anyone that does manual labor, you don't give them a rough time for looking like they work. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.